Alright, welcome along to a swift little vlog here. We're going to be doing something a little bit weird in this one. I was at work the other day and, of course, still settling in after the whole back injury thing. And I was walking past my manager or my uh, supervisor for the section that I'm in, and I cracked a little joke on the way past him. I was coming down the stairs holding on to the banister rail, feeling a bit of pain, and I just kind of cracked the joke that, you know what, I think it's time that I should start looking for the coolest walking stick on the face of the planet. And he laughed. It's just a little bit of humour. If you can't laugh at yourself, what can you do? And when you're in a situation like this here, some of that sort of humour is kind of what the doctor ordered, really, at the end of the day. So, cracked the joke, walked on with my little limp. The further through the day I get, the more I tend to get sore. So it is what it is. It's one of these things again, you're going to have to live with if you've got a back injury. But I came home and I was thinking to myself, I should do that. I should look up and see if there's any cool walking sticks, because at the end of the day, I am going to fight to the death not to let this back injury get the better of me. And, there is that risk. I'm not going to lie, the doctors did tell me years and years ago there is a very strong possibility if I don't, and this was the exact words that the doctor said back then. Now, you're probably at this point going back probably 10, 11 years ago right now. It was one of these old school doctors. Most of the times now you go in and they just kind of throw a prescription at you, get out, off you go. They're trying to get as many people through as they can. You'd almost think they're trying to match a quota for the day. But these old school doctors from back in the, these guys that were coming up through the 60s, 70s and 80s, like the doctors back then were unbelievable. These guys would sit you down and it didn't matter, if someone was in the queue behind you that had an appointment for, say, 10:30, and you'd run over into the 10:30, 10:35 area. These guys, if they thought there was an issue there that you had to delve into a bit deeper, they had no problem in doing it. And it was what it was back then. Nobody complained about it. It's just, it's just much better then for the good of the person. So they did. This old doctor one day, like a retired gentleman, he was, and actually came out of retirement to cover, they were short staffed and whatnot. And like, I can remember this guy, he was an old dude whenever I was a child. He had to be at this point easily in his 70s. So he sat me down, we had a little chit chat, and he was talking about my parents and whatnot, and memories, this, that, and the other. But we get into it anyway, and he looked through the results from the MRI scans and everything, and there was a whole issue with me and the painkillers in our story for an hour time. But he was disgusted at the fact that, I was just getting thrown these prescriptions and nothing actually of any real benefit as far as a recovery goes, as far as info from the actual doctors. So he did say at that point, he says, look, son, I'm going to be brutally honest with you. There is a strong possibility here. And you can, if you work hard, make this not happen. But if you keep going the way you are, you're getting older, you're a heavy set guy. At that point, I was easily a stone and a half heavier than I am right now. It was like, you keep going the way you're going right now, not exercising, not building those core muscles, you are going to end up in a wheelchair for retirement. This is the last thing you want to hear, but it is what it is. He says, if you don't do something about this, you're going to end up in a wheelchair. So I'm determined. I'm actually determined for that never to happen to me. But the possibility is there. But having said that, I will at some point have trouble walking. I know that for a fact. I'm determined to stay out of that wheelchair, But if it comes to the point where you need to add a walking stick into the everything that's going on, I will accept that if that's the case. So I'm going to get on to the internet now. We're going to have a little look, and it did say to the supervisor, I came across this really cool one time, had like this eagle head on it. So let's get on and do a little search here. Let's go for rock and roll walking stick and see what the search puts up. Rock and roll walking stick search. So there we go. This just like, I'm going to put this on screen for you. So here we are, some images. That's pretty cool. Let me see. Cosplay came. A little bit of skull sort of thing here. Not really the sort of thing I'm really thinking on. Let's do some more images of that search to see what comes up. You see, I'm not impressed at that sort of thing. There's Axl Rose brandishing a walking stick. Yeah, not a big fan of that. There's an Aussie walking stick right there, but I was never a big fan of his. So let me see. Right, let's go back and we'll do another search here. We're going to look up eagle walking stick, because I did see one and it looked pretty cool. So here we are. This is the sort of thing I'm talking about here. If it came to the crunch, you want something deadly cool there. That, you know, I like that sort of style there. You know, just pumped out the gold eagle head on it, you know. That's pretty cool right there. But there's one that I seen at one time and it had like the eagle head, but it had wings on it as well. So where would you come across that? Let's just see, get into that search again. Eagle walking stick with wings. This is such a weird thing. No, that's not it. But you know, that sort of thing there is pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie. But you know, you're using a walking stick. This one cut the hand off you. But I have got no idea where it's at. It was like an eagle posed as the handle of the stick, of course. It was kind of like this one here, sort of thing. But the beak on it was more rounded down, and it had the full body of the eagle, and up at the top of the cane here is where like the two wings went out. It was almost like an eagle and a dive more than anything else. So let me see. Eagle diving walking stick. Let's take off wings out of it. Oh gosh, I can't find it. But it was such a cool looking little walking stick. Hey, it was pretty damn cool. So you were kind of getting into it with that one right there. But again, it's not the thing I came across before. This is such a weird video to be making, really, at the end of the day. Let me see. That's pretty cool there. Not gonna lie, that is pretty cool. That sort of thing kind of stands out to me there. You know, something with a bit of style to it. You know what I mean? Instead of, like, back injuries run in the family. My father had one, so like there's a few walking sticks that are about the house. And, he was using one that was actually my grandfather's, and I think there's one there from like a great grandfather or something. But yeah, just normal wooden things. But you know, for me, if it comes to the crunch where I actually have to use a walking stick for mobility's sake, I want something that looks pretty cool. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, that's really just eagle heads here I'm coming across. I've got no idea where the the those ones with like the wings on the back of the, you know, again right here, that's the sort of thing there that you're thinking on. But they like an eagle diving one more time with, you know, like an eagle diving for the like down to the water to get a fish, and it tucks its wings right back. That's the sort of deal there that I was saying would consider it. But again, having said all that, this is just a fun little search for video sake. But I'm determined to fight this to my last day, to keep myself on my feet as best as possible. But you know, it is what it is. You just have to take it a day at a time. But you know, saying all that there, the last few weeks at work have been, you know, not gonna lie, it has been sore, stressful. Going to bed pretty sore in the evenings. But I'm getting a little bit better each and every day. There's a couple of days last week, there's a few things happened at work where I actually had to step into that, like just right through the discomfort zone and to that area where, you know, there's risk here, and I managed by the skin of my teeth to get through it without hurting myself. But having said that, over the weekend here, I have felt a few twinges. But yeah, I think that's going to do it for this video. Fun little search for a walking stick video. If I do ever come across that little eagle one with the feather or the two wings on it, I'll grab a hold of it and let you see it at some point. Right, random video for today. Happy Sunday. Take care of yourselves, and I'll see you in the next video.